Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You will experience a tingling sensation, then death. For this is a Fred Daly Productions podcast.
If symptoms persist, see your doctor.
Cue the music.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Whoa, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello.
Hello.
I'm a Kendall Richardson.
And I'm the human embodiment of Pam the Bird graffiti. I'm Michael Lister. Local reference.
Local reference. Oh, it's good. And you are now experiencing a podcast called Fred.
Yes, experiencing it through the mediums of the interwebs, and welcome to two, not three, but two. Unfortunately.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes, Fulya was not feeling up to joining us, but as if you are a regular listener / viewer, you will know she's still going to be in the show. I can't wait to get into her massive novel that she's left of notes. It's very exciting. Thank you, Fulya.
Steve's
yes.
still here.
So let's start the show without any more ado and dive in to the weekly watchings, starting with Fulya's wonderful thoughts. She says, "Hello, friends. If you are reading this, then it means I'm not with you on the show. I haven't really watched much this week. I decided to randomly go back and start watching the final season of Miracle Workers, the Daniel Radcliffe comedy series." She adds in parentheses. And after 2 episodes, I was kind of bored of it. It's a shame to hear. She's only ever said really good things about that show. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood, or maybe it was the theme of the season, Mad Max style wastelands. Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I might try again, she says, and continue later, but at the moment, it's not as funny as the previous season. I did end up going to the theatre this week and watched Beauty and the Beast, the musical.
Ooh.
I went in with the mindset of no expectations, but came out of it a bit whelmed. Can you ever just be whelmed? It doesn't have the same spectacle as the other Disney musicals. They went with a very minimalistic set and props. They used a lot of visual effects like projections and an upstage screen that played digital backgrounds. Looked cool in the grand scheme of things, but didn't hit me as well as I would have liked. Also, the performer who played the Beast didn't have the same gravitas in their voice that I was expecting, and some of the more serious moments were kind of ruined with strangely placed humour. I don't know. I enjoyed it overall, but not a show I'd go back and watch. Ooh. A very tumultuous review of Beauty and the Beast, the musical. Thank you, Fulya, for your thoughts. Yes. I hope you give Miracle Workers another go, and I hope it gets better.
Yeah.
Considering it's the last season of the show, I believe. Yeah, you said final season. Yes, I'm right. Yes. Very good. Okay. Mike, what about yourself? What have you been watching this week?
Sort of the same as Fulya. I didn't really watch much this week, but I will say there's a movie that I chucked on because I was home alone and no one to look after and no one looked after me. So I decided to sit down and watch a movie that there's been on my to watch list for ages, and I'm surprised I haven't watched it until now. I watched Fargo for the first time.
Nice.
Yes. It's a good film. It's just right in my wheelhouse of funny but horrific at the same time sort of humor, and I love all the people that are in it. And because I've been seeing a lot of like people like fawning over the television show as well, and how that's sort of good and stuff. So I decided to watch the movie.
Great.
And yeah, I love that accent.
It's a great accent. Minnesota.
Have you seen Fargo?
I've seen the movie once, and I remember two things from it. One, loving Frances McDormand's performance, and two, the wood chipper scene.
Well, yeah, the climax.
The climax of the movie. Yeah, great movie. I've seen, I think I can't remember how many seasons of the show. At least 3 seasons. The show's fantastic. The show, I don't know if this is a controversial take, but I would argue that the show is better than the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just because, I mean, look,
in a way of storytelling, I mean, it was
Yeah.
like one of the first Coen Brothers movies, and they're sort of testing the waters, as it were. And the only thing that I've seen
Sure.
from theirs up to this point was probably Big Lebowski, and yeah, I've been meaning to watch a lot more Coen Brothers stuff. And
yeah, that's
because
fair. Yeah.
because the Coen Brothers are a big influence for Barry, which I've seen their TV show for that. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, especially with certain shots. I mean, some shots were some of the episodes were actually directed by Bill Hader as well. So and he definitely has admitted to politely stealing from Coen Brothers. So like certain shots. So yeah, I can see it,
Great.
and I do enjoy it. It's a very unique sort of film, and how that ties into all the other stuff. And I really want to see was it Old Country for Old Men, and
Yeah, No Country for Old Men. Yeah, I want to watch that as well.
and Brother, Where Art Thou? Because I'm a big fan of like doing adaptations of like Greek myths and all them, because essentially that's the Homer's Odyssey. So I want to watch that before I watch the Christopher Nolan version, because he's going to go straight to the source of it being set in the time, and I don't want that. I want to see something new and different and unusual. Anyway.
Yes. Fair enough.
Yes. So I watched Fargo.
Great.
On my adventures into the dying art of physical media, I went to your favorite shop, Kendall. Your favorite shop being that you work there.
Yes.
I went to, and I got myself this a TV show that I haven't seen in ages because it came out when I was a kid. Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids, and I saw it and I had to have it. I haven't showed it to my kids yet, but I showed it to my wife, and she is traumatized. How did that? How is that supposed to be on ABC for kids? It's like it was great. It was cool. It was gruesome, and it's animation, so it's not that. It's just the ideas that would scare the shit out of people. And it's narrated by Nigel Planer, who is one of the young ones. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. If you're out there, pick it up. Bit of nostalgia, and also a nice time capsule of when TV was great for children. It's
for children.
Watered down now.
Yes. This is true.
And even if it is meant for kids, it's actually written for adults. I'm always thinking X-Men 97, because that's not for kids. It was not aimed for kids. It was aimed for the people who watched it as a kid and now is old and and going,
yes,
nostalgia, as well as better execution and storytelling. yeah, so that's basically it. I will say, I decided to get a free subscription to Crunchyroll through my Prime account, and because I wanted to watch the new Dragon Ball Z Dana with the English dub, because a lot of the original people coming back to do that, and it was very nostalgic. And I thought, I'll go watch it. And yeah, they're up to episode 7 of the English dub, but there's already like 19 episodes out with the original Japanese as well. So that's been a bit of fun. And also I've been rewatching One Piece as well. So I've gone back to watching One Piece, but I've started again because I just wanted to, and it's a lot of fun. So that's basically it. It's not really anything interesting, just a DVD and Fargo and Steve Buscemi getting minced. So, Kendall, have you minced anyone in a wood chipper?
You don't mince words there, do you, Mike?
Shall I walk in a mincy way?
Please do. Yes, my weekly watching. So I'm halfway through some time off work at the moment. So I've had some time to watch some things in between other stuff, and I've been staying at my partner's house. So he and I have been watching some stuff. What? My partner. Yeah.
I think it's the first time you actually said that on the pod. So
it is the first time I mentioned it on the pod. So hello. Yes.
Hello.
It's wonderful. Hello. It's wonderful. He's wonderful. Yes. So I watched a bunch of stuff with him during the week, and it's a bit of a mixed bag, if you will. So we watched a few of the things we watched. I'm gonna just mention. We watched the SNL 50th anniversary episode spectacular thing that they did. We didn't watch the homecoming concert, whatever that was supposed to be. It was just a concert of like everyone coming out and doing different songs and tributes and SNL references and stuff. And we watched a couple of performances from that. But we sat down and watched the actual show, which was 2.5 hours. So very fitting runtime. And, that brought back so many wonderful past guests and past hosts and past cast members and everything. It was a really cool tribute to the most influential comedy skit show in history. I think I can say safely, because just thinking of the list of iconic actors, comedic actors, performers that we've gotten from that show is just mind-boggling. So it was really, really, really cool to watch that. Really funny. Good to see Bill Murray on the Weekend Update desk
with his list.
With his list, yeah, that was very fun. Steve Martin, and I think my favorite skit was probably the wedding one, where they basically they had Sabrina Carpenter there. She's a bridesmaid, and then like they're doing speeches and stuff, and then it just gets worse and worse when like these 3 brothers come in, and one of them's played by Pedro Pascal, and it's just, and they're all like, it's very funny. Just I recommend watching it. I was laughing a lot. I can't remember a lot of the other stuff now, but it was just really cool. And Adam Sandler's song with his tribute was really cool as well. So if you're a big fan of comedy and SNL in particular, you're definitely going to get a kick out of watching that. That's for sure.
I will mention my favorite was probably Bobby Monahan's drunk uncle.
Yeah. Yeah, he was good. I love Bobby. He's great.
Even playing off the mistake was great.
Yeah.
When you rip the buttons off.
Yeah. Yeah, handled it well, like a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. And then we also watched The Blob, the original version,
Oh, with Steve McQueen.
with Steve McQueen, his first film, where he's actually credited as Stephen McQueen.
Oh.
Which was funny.
That's
but
like
yeah,
Johnny Depp
that was
in Nightmare on Elm Street being Jonathan Depp.
Jonathan Depp, yeah. Yeah, that was a good movie. I really liked it, and I'm kind of tempted to watch the remake from the late '80s that came out, just to compare the two, because like the Blob was really good, and I feel like towards the end I kind of wanted a bit more from it, but then I have to remember it's the '50s and there's only so much they can do with the technology they have and whatnot. But they did a really good job, like visual effects wise. Like they used a lot of miniatures, and stop motion animation and reverse camera tricks and all that. Yeah, pulled it off. I loved Steve McQueen's performance. He's just great. Yeah, I think it's my third Steve McQueen movie I've seen now. Second or third. I can't remember the other. I've seen Great Escape and I've forgotten the other one already. There's another movie of his I swear I've seen. Anyway, moving on. And, and then we watched The Revenant, which I had not seen. This is of course Leonardo DiCaprio's Oscar-winning performance. It was a good movie. I mean, it was a good performance from him, but man, did they put him through it. It felt like the whole time they're just basically dangling an Oscar on a stick in front of him, and he has to keep reaching for it, and by reaching for it, he has to get attacked by a bear and put through freezing temperatures and suffering the loss of his son and his wife and being left for dead by his supposed friends, and it's just, oh my god, yeah, he gets put through the whole 9 yards and then some in that movie. But it was a good movie. It was beautiful. Cinematography was amazing.
Tom Hardy's in that, isn't he?
I was just gonna say I've never hated him more because he plays the fucking worst character in it.
The
I
best
hate him.
guy.
So he did a very good job. Yeah, it's a good cast. It's a very good cast. It's got him in it, and it's got Donald Gleason in it, and Will Poulter as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's a really good cast. I enjoyed. But yeah, it's worth watching at least once. I'm glad I've finally seen it. It's probably just a bit too long. It's probably my only critique. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. Probably doesn't need to be that long, but I get what they were doing with the story and stuff. So, and two more things I mentioned. One more thing, just quickly wanted to mention I watched Big Trouble in Little China for the first time.
Oh.
Never seen that either. So I'm watching a lot of new things lately. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah. That was fun. Like I really kind of love Kurt Russell in the movie. He just looks like he's having the best time. Like he's not taking anything too seriously. He's just in the moment and just fucking whatever happens. He's good. And
what if your hero was an idiot?
Pretty much. He just kind of happens to find himself in the circumstances he's in, and then it's just like, how does he handle it? And he's, and everyone around him is doing the most, and he's just kind of there, in a way.
It reminds me a lot of Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. Yeah. Yeah, that's
everyone
fair.
is medieval, and you got Bruce Campbell being Bruce Campbell. It's great.
Yes, it's great. It's so great. Yeah, but it was a fun movie, and I really like James Hong's performance as Lopan. He was quite entertaining to watch as a demonic figure in the in the world. So yeah, it's a good time. It was a good time. I enjoyed watching it. And then the last thing I'll mention before we move on is I finished Cobra Kai.
Ah, yes, that came out.
Yes, the last 5 episodes of Cobra Kai, the 6th and final season, dropped on
Ever.
Netflix. I think like last. I think it wasn't long ago. And yeah, and I had some time to watch them. And I'm very happy with
that's
the
good.
ending. The only thing I'll say about it is it kind of, and not to spoil it, but it kind of everything kind of works out for everyone, which is fine. And I think that was the only way the show was going to go. But it's not. I don't think it's about that really. I think it's more about
The
the journey they go on.
Hmm.
The journey. How do they get to those points? How do they earn those victories? And there were certain things that they did to maneuver things into the position they wanted to have these payoffs was really cleverly done. The writing was very good. The performances were very good. There was one scene where William Zabka, who plays Johnny Lawrence, kind of has to dial it to 11 in terms of emotional delivery, and I was floored. I was like, "Oh my god, no, give me cry." Yeah, some pretty emotional stuff in the last few episodes, and some really beautiful things as well. So it was a fitting farewell to these characters in this world for now, because obviously we're getting another Karate Kid project, Karate Kid Legends with Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan, where the streams will cross from the two franchises versions of Karate Kid, if you will. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it was good. I liked it. I meant to ask Wayne about it last night if he'd seen it yet, and I forgot to. So because he was the one that got me into Cobra Kai back in 2020. So
Sweet leg,
when
Johnny.
we were all sweep the leg, Johnny. We were all locked up. So but yeah, nice, good stuff. I recommend Cobra Kai if you're a fan of Karate Kid, like even barely. Like I still haven't seen 2 or 3 or 4, the one movie that they didn't really mention at all, in the Cobra Kai series. But if you're a fan of at least that movie, and or if you just like good nostalgia written television, like I've been saying to people for years, like this is the show that knows how to do that nostalgia and member berries thing and not shove it down your face. Like it does it in a really classy way. And yeah, the story kind of came full circle. So it was really nice.
Yeah, like to
It was
continue
really
the story with it being its own thing.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So they handled it very well. And then there's a cheeky post-credit scene with where the two of the creators of the show make a cameo appearance about what other franchise they're gonna do next. They're gonna reboot next and redo and whatnot. And I'm not gonna say what it is.
Which is
but it was fun. It was but it was fun.
And then?
So
Okay, tell us off screen.
And then, yes. So that's my weekly watchings. That's done. That is done.
Nice.
That's it. Nice. So that means now it's time for the week that was in the nerdy news.
It is. Just wait. I need to set that up. Oh. Let me see. That one.
This is the news in nerdy news. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostest, Kendall Richardson. Take it away, Kendall.
Winner of Jack in the Box.
Yes. Jackbox champion. No. It's nerdy news time. We've got a few things to talk about this week that are pretty exciting, or divisive, as this first bit of news might prove. If you're on the internet in the last few days, you probably would have seen and heard about this piece of news. Amazon MGM have officially acquired creative control of the James Bond franchise.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck, said almost everyone. Yeah, it's interesting that this has actually happened, but they apparently have gone into agreement with the longtime producers and co-owners of the franchise, Michael G. Wilson, and of course Barbara Broccoli.
It's a broccoli.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a little press release. I think it was from maybe both of them, or maybe it was from Broccoli. I'm not sure, but it says, with my 007 career spanning nearly 60 incredible years, I'm stepping back from producing the James Bond films to focus on art and charitable projects. Okay, so this is Wilson saying this in his statement. Michael G. Wilson. Therefore, Barbara and I agree it is time for our trusted partner, Amazon MGM Studios, to lead James Bond into the future. Yeah,
For 10
okay.
years.
Is it for 10? Is it only for 10 years, or are you making?
I'll explain later.
Okay, great. I'll throw to you in a moment. Yeah. So this is like really interesting. For that this has happened, because if it felt like they were going to keep it in the family probably forever. Because it's just interesting because obviously Albert Cubby Broccoli. I'm just gonna keep saying it wrong. Is not with us anymore, and yeah, and so he was the head honcho of getting the Bond films started back in the day. So yeah, and people, I think Bond fans are very passionate and protective of the IP, which is understandable. So yeah, so this is a huge shock, but I guess the fact that we're in like this changing of the guard at the moment, considering what happened in the events of No Time to Die, which I still haven't seen, but I had it spoiled for me. But we're in between Bonds at the moment, so if they're gonna have a creative hands switch, this is probably the best time for it to happen. Until we see Jeff Bezos tweet, "So guys, who do you want to be the next Bond?"
Because that's how to do a film.
Oh boy. I didn't believe at first, if I'm being real, to be honest, that he'd said that, and then I saw the tweet and I was like, oh my god. Okay. Jesus, I shouldn't be surprised, really. I'm naive of me. But yeah, I don't know. Like, Amazon's gonna Amazon. They're like Disney. They're just the other giant in the market that wants to control everything. And they acquired MGM a long time ago, or a few years ago, whenever it was. So this is a big, this is probably, like I was saying before, this is kind of inevitable, I think. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest, because I'm not like a massive James Bond fan. Like I've definitely enjoyed watching most of the movies. I haven't seen all of them. But whatever they decide to do, I hope they take a leaf out of the Broccoli handbook and follow the vibes. But we'll see. I did appreciate a lot of the internet going, cast Henry Cavill.
No.
But I don't think that's going to happen. So I want Aaron Taylor Johnson. When he was rumored last year, I was like, yes, please. So that'd be swell. We'll see. Anyway, Fulya had some thoughts on this. Because she is a Bond aficionado, for those who aren't aware. So she says, this news worries me. I'm not surprised. I've been working my way through the Bond films in order of release, and I've been enjoying them so far. I'm not sure how well Amazon will be able to make Bond movies given the current selection of films available that were made in-house. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I guess she's blaming some of the quality of some of the Amazon Prime films, I suppose. well, I don't know if I want a counter argument or if I'm just looking for a reason to bring up Rings of Power, to be honest. But that show's done pretty well. Like, not amazingly, but it's done pretty well. And on the whole, most people are okay with how they've handled Tolkien's Legendarium. So
I can counter argue with that.
So I would say like that, Amazon having control of that, but they let their, they let their creatives, they pick their creatives and they let them kind of run things. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying not to be pessimistic about it, but I can understand why Fulya might be a bit, ugh.
Trying not to be Debbie Downer.
Yes, trying not to be Debbie Downer, but Mike,
that was a good sketch.
That was just gonna say that was great, bringing her back. Yeah, it's official. I can't have children. Oh, so funny. Rachel Dratch, everyone. Mike, what do you think of this Bond news? Tell me your thoughts that you've been having.
First thought, yeah, worried that that I don't know, squander it maybe. I don't know. But then I'm a big nerd when it comes to public domain, and James Bond enters the public domain in 2035.
Pretty close.
Yeah, so they've got 10 years to do.
Nice.
Try and squeeze in 3 films.
Yeah.
The Amazon trilogy. So there's that, and then after that we can watch James Bond in the public domain, and someone is going to do a horror version of James Bond. Put him with Mickey
as seems
and
to be
Popeye.
The way.
And,
yes.
And who's the other one? Yeah, I think Bambi's going to be one as well.
Well, can I just say, when I went and saw Presents last week, they played a trailer for the Peter Pan horror film that's coming out, because obviously that's public domain, and that was fucked up. It looked bad. Didn't look great. It didn't look. I mean, I don't know. It looked fine, I guess. I don't know. I'm just not sure. I'm not gonna watch it, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, it'll happen to Bond. He'll be the next version of like Jason or Freddy,
Yeah.
Or turn him into a.
But an MI5 agent that goes around killing people, but he already does that. So that's really weird. Yeah. So, I do enjoy my Bond film every now and again. I'm the same. I haven't seen them all. And even the ones that I have seen, I see it over and over because I enjoy them. Skyfall is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love that film. I just watch it just for a standalone. I just enjoy it because it was just amazing. Yeah, I'm not too precious when it comes to my Bond, but I know conglomerates can just suck up IP and just sit on it for a bit. But I don't think they're going to with this because, as I said, they've only got 10 years to do something with it. And then, yeah, so I'm not that worried. But it's good that Daniel Craig is the last good James Bond. Putting my stake in the sand for that one. Because after that, people are going to say, don't care, don't like it, meh. Don't care if it's Henry Cavill. He's too much of a big name. It's got to be someone who's on the cusp of stardom.
On the fringe.
On the fringe.
On the front.
Simon Pegg. Let's bat a winner for here. Like someone who's too old and not that famous. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Very good. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Our next item is a much better announcement that is really exciting because it's going to be my first time watching something from this world fresh. And that is the fact that we are getting a new Avatar series. So
Oh, is James Cameron doing a series of avatars? Ha ha. Ha 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 ha.
Jesus Christ. No. Well, I mean, he's doing a million avatars. That's he can take that over there. No, I'm talking about the Nickelodeon franchise that has so far given us Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra, and now will give us Avatar: Seven Havens. So in a press release, Nickelodeon says that Seven Havens will be set in a world shattered by a devastating cataclysm. A young earthbender discovers she's the new Avatar after Korra, but in this dangerous era, that title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not its savior. Hunted by both human and spirit
Korra,
enemies,
what did you do?
She and her long-lost twin must uncover their mysterious origins and save the Seven Havens before civilization's last strongholds collapse. Sounds pretty epic to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of an Avatar not being the savior, because that's something that's kind of put upon Aang and Korra through their respective shows. Is like they're these unlikely heroes that find themselves having to be, to fill that void and to save the day whether they want to or not, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they have to train themselves into it, I guess. So the fact that you've got someone here who's the new Avatar, but then that's actually a really bad thing. I think that's I think it's really fascinating, and it's going to be really cool to see how they explore that. Especially the fact that she's got this long lost twin, and something to do with their origins will probably, save the day or maybe make things worse. Who knows? I think this has got a lot of potential. And the fact that it's an earthbender as well is pretty cool. And the other great thing is that the original creators of both The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, they're coming back for this. They're going to be working on this completely. They're co-creating, and obviously going to be writing. I would say a bunch of this. So it's going to be split into 2 seasons. They've said there's going to be 26 episodes all up, split into 2 seasons, 13 episodes in book 1 and 13 episodes in book 2. So it's not going to be as long as the previous 2 shows, but that's okay.
But they have a plan.
They have a plan. That's right. And that's good. We like plans. So But I'm really, really excited for this. I mean, they are already working on an animated movie about Aang, which we've talked about on the show. That's coming out this time next year. But the fact that we're now going to be getting a new Avatar series is really cool. I can't wait to watch it and to see and learn more about what happened after the events of The Legend of Korra and it's gonna be cool. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm not hesitant. Not yet, anyway. Fulya has some thoughts on this. She simply says, "I enjoyed The Legend of Korra. I think it was put together and it ended nicely. I think, in parentheses. I'm not sure that I want more tacked on to the end of that, though. Fair enough. I mean, Korra didn't end the way that they intended it to end because of Nickelodeon being Nickelodeon back then, unfortunately. So hopefully they might have less interference with the story they're trying to tell, or maybe they just won't be... Maybe they'll just play it safe with certain aspects of certain characters, which makes me frustrated. because we should not be silencing queer representation, but that's fine.
It's all right. You could just read. You could just read the comic that actually came out. That's like a continuation of them, and that's what happens after. So
yes. They completed the story in a different format. But other than that, like, they did a good enough job of wrapping up the Korra story. So, and like, look, fully, I could argue that I feel like we didn't need another series after Last Airbender, because that show was perfection. Like from top to tail, there is nothing wrong with that show. And so we probably, we don't really need to add on anything to that. And then Korra really does kind of serve as a sequel series because obviously Aang's not around, but we have, Aang's son and his family, and Katara's there. She's really old, and like there's still references to the characters from the original series. So who knows? We may see some familiar faces come back in this new show, or it could just be completely separate, and all they do is just reference Avatar Korra. I don't know, but I can understand you fully. I get where you're coming from. Mike, what do you make of this? Are you kind of came to Avatar late, like I did?
yeah.
So what do you think of this news?
Good. Hearing a lot of good things. That they've actually planned for 2 seasons, and that's it, which is good because, unfortunately, Legend of Korra sort of got its knees knocked out of them of just having a series and green light for a series and then green light for a series after every series, and then unfortunately that means it needed to have a world-ending scenario at the end of each series, and it's sort of can't really build upon that. That's good. Trying to think of, because they were trying to do like a sequel series with Netflix as well. I think, and then they said no, we can't really do this because Netflix was doing Netflix stuff and they were doing the live action as well, and it just maybe got too much. And so they just went back to basics and said, hey, we're going to do this. Who's buying? And Nickelodeon? Yeah, Nickelodeon decided, okay, we'll do 2 seasons and that's it. Because probably the previous previous people that are probably no longer there is like, oh, this is our sort of nest egg, so we need to like look after it, because it was either because Nickelodeon has 2 real big things, and that's Avatar and SpongeBob, and each year there's a SpongeBob movie over and over, so they need to do something with Airbender, and they probably tried to do it themselves and said no, it's bad. So yeah, I'm more than happy to dive more into this world and see where it is. It's sounding a lot like Star Wars, if I am to be honest, where the world is, it's Star Wars Episode 4, where where the world is gone against the Avatar Jedi, and there's twins. But I have heard that Avatar are a generation Star Wars, so that's all right.
A little bit.
Who begat who? Who cares? All cool and normal.
All cool and normal.
Yeah, and it gives us something to talk about on Fred. Yay!
Yeah. Content for us. That'll definitely be something we'll be chatting about and reviewing when it airs in a couple of years from now.
All 3 of us can watch it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Except for this particular show that we're about to talk about. Segway!
Segway! Thank you, Mike. I will catch the ball you just hit. Yes. Next in the news. We finally have a release date for season 2 of The Last of Us.
Yay!
Yay! This is very exciting. Okay, set your calendars, everyone, for if you're in America, for Sunday, April 13 at 9 p.m. And here in Australia, that of course will be Monday, April 14th,
Oh,
probably around 11 midday. It's generally when they drop. For us here. So I'm excited to go back to. I love watching HBO shows on a Monday, like, cause I get every second Monday off work. So I remember just watching The Last of Us at home immediately the moment it dropped every 2 weeks when the first season was airing, and that was a lot of fun. Because I'm pretty sure I think I watched the Nick Offerman Murray Bartlett one. I forget the name of it now. The one that fucking changed everything. That episode. Yeah, I think I watched that immediately as it came out. I was like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. Glad I didn't have to work that day. But yes, this is great news to finally have a release date. We also got some new character posters for Joel, Ellie, and Abby that they released. Yes, so they're really starting to amp up the promotion. It's been a bit since we've had a proper deep sort of trailer, so they'll probably maybe do one or two more in the next month and a half until the show drops. But yeah, there's only going to be 7 episodes this season. I think last season we had 8 or 9. I think there was more in the first season, but that's fine. It's, for those of you who aren't aware, it's going to be set 5 years after the events of season 1. And it's going to pick up with Joel and Ellie living with Joel's brother Tommy in the commune in Montana. And yes, also for those who don't know, the second game is much bigger than the first game, so they have a lot more to work with. But also because they're stretching this into 3 or 4 seasons, I think is the word. They're going to be fleshing out a lot of stuff. So we'll probably get a lot more backstory on certain characters. And I, as someone who knows not that much about Abby, apart from the one defining moment of her character that made me want to stab her in the face, I'm looking forward to them going into her. I feel like they'll go into her and really kind of flesh her out. And because she sounds like, and from just what I've seen, spoiler free, she sounds like obviously a very divisive character, but also someone that they try to make you have sympathy for, maybe. I don't know. But I'm excited mostly to watch her just because Caitlin Dever is playing her, and she's a fucking phenomenal actress. Yeah, I hope there's certain events I'm hoping aren't happening in this season, but they probably will be, and I'm gonna cry with everyone else. So, fun times. Yes. So yeah, anyway, so April 14th for The Last of Us Part 2, Season 2, to kick off. Mike, how are you feeling about this now that we have a date, now that we're getting closer to D-Day for The Last of Us?
I'm not sure if I'm going to be ready. But yeah, even Ellie's poster.
Yeah.
And the things that they're on, there is a significance why it's a guitar.
Yes, yes.
Because you do get to play a guitar in the game, and I'm bad at it. But I have seen people on YouTube actually playing like different songs as well, because they've actually worked out how to play it on the controller, which is fascinating. Yeah, so there is a significance why it's a guitar. And Joel's is the watch, and Abby's the the firefighters, firelights.
Firefly?
Yeah, fireflies. I kind of confirm or deny what your speculations, because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Thank you.
Depending if you want to like watch the watch through, because you got up to the certain point and you stopped. Yeah. there's a lot of things in it because I played the game and it hurt my soul. It was that sort of game. It's like decision. It's a narrative driven game, and you can't really veer it. There's no story tree. It's a story trunk. You have to get to the next bit, and there were times that I wanted to stop because I don't want to do this because it's against my being to do certain things, and it's really hard because you fall in love with this character that you're playing, and there's other characters coming in and helping you and being antagonistic to you, and it's a real trip, and I'm looking forward to it and not looking forward to it at the same time because it's gonna open those wounds again. Should I play it? Because I've played it out once, I can play like the plus game, and it'll be a lot easier to get through. I'm not sure if I want to do that before the game, before the show comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Abby is a real interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And I've been sitting on something that is a cool Easter egg in the first show, but I can't really explain it because it's sort of if I knew this, it would probably spoil season 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll
I
come
appreciate you treading lightly.
Yeah, but I think we'll find out like in mid show, and I'll explain it then. So stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, stay tuned.
I look. Stay tuned
for this tidbit.
Devastation. Oh dear, it's coming.
It's a good show.
All right. Yeah.
So I'll mark my calendars.
Yeah.
And it will be a shame that it's on Monday because it will be an entire week until we can actually talk about it. And it's like it'll be sitting with me for the rest of the week.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of time to stew on it, won't we?
Yeah, maybe if I ask Phil, it's like, hey, let's not talk on Mondays. Let's let's do it sometime. I need to talk to Kendall.
Yeah, we'll just do a separate Last of Us podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. No. Feel free to message me as you're going through the motions.
And same.
Yes,
I know what
absolutely.
to expect.
Yeah, and I don't really know what's coming.
Unless they completely veer to it. I mean, they can do whatever they want. I mean, the Nick Offerman episode 3 veered from it, but in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if there'll be time to actually do something like that again. But who knows? Who knows what they're planning? I mean, Catherine Hahn. No, not Catherine Hahn. Fucking what's her name? Never mind. I've lost it. Anyway, next segment.
Okay, that's all right. Next topic. We've got one more thing in the news to talk about before we move on. And that is, of course, the BAFTAs. The BAFTAs happened last week, and
Catherine O'Hara. There we go.
Catherine O'Hara. Oh yeah, she's in the show. That's right.
Yeah. As a character that's not in the game.
No, she's original to the series, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah, look forward. Yeah, I think I remember we talked about her when she was cast. I'm just looking forward to seeing her in a dramatic performance. Is going to be really cool. So,
I think it's a narrative plot device, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's get into the BAFTAs. Yes, Britain's Oscars, if you will, their big night of film, and the two biggest movies of the night were Conclave and The Brutalist. They both took home 4 awards between them, and then Wicked, Amelia Perez, Anora, Dune Part 2, A Real Pain, and Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul won 2 awards each. Very cool to see. So best film went to Conclave, which was great. I'm totally fine and happy with that win. They also won best British film, which is pretty cool. Adrian Brody, Zoe Saldana, and Kieran Culkin continued their streaks in the acting categories for their respective roles. However, there was a slight upset in the leading actress category. Mikey Madison won for her performance in Anora. And, very happy to see this, of course. I rewatched The Substance, actually, during the week, so it was cool to see Demi's performance again. But yeah, after having since seen Anora as well, Mikey steals the show in that film. And she was kind of the only other, realistic contender, I guess, compared to, Demi. So it's kind of cool to see a little upset in the acting race for that award. So it's going to be, the SAG Awards are tomorrow and the Oscars are next week. So who will take home the Golden Statuette? Who knows? I think all the acting categories, apart from that, are a lock otherwise. Let's see. Brutalist won Best Director. Warwick Davis was honoured with a BAFTA Fellowship, which was really, really sweet to see as well. Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, took home Best Documentary, which was lovely. A very, very, very good doco. I highly recommend watching it if you're a fan of Superman, if you're a fan of Christopher Reeve separate of Superman, or if you just want to watch a really touching human story. It's definitely worth your time. And then, of course, Wallace and Gromit won animated film and children's and family film. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming out of the Oscars, the BAFTAs. And the other really cool thing, I would be remiss if I didn't mention him. David Tennant took up the kilt of hosting the BAFTAs once again, and made one of the best entrances in BAFTA history, I would say, by singing "I Would Walk 500 Miles." Very funny, very entertaining to see him having a conversation with Helen Mirren in the mirror, and Brian Cox, and Jim Broadbent, and then that leads into the song, and then he's getting everyone in the crowd to sing the da 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 at him. Yeah, check it out. It's a bit of fun. So yeah, I like David Tennant a lot. Obviously, I mean this podcast is a fan of David Tennant. So yeah, good stuff. Mike, do you have anything to add? Anything you want to comment on about the BAFTAs? Anything I missed?
David Tennant plays Scrooge McDuck.
He sure does.
That's where I know him from. Ha ha.
Yeah. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I got nothing. Well done for the people who won, and here's 2 more awards. More. SAG and Oscars. Saggy Oscars.
Here's to them. Saggy Oscars. Yes.
Is that a euphemism?
Okay. Anyway. Cool. So, let's see here. That's the news done, which means now it's time to roll on up to the trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Yeah.
You?
Trailer park time.
Huh.
And three very different trailers to discuss today, which is kind of cool. The first one is for an upcoming Netflix series by the name of The Residents. And I would have loved Fulya's thoughts on this, but she sadly did not leave us any notes. But that's okay. Because this is right up her alley. It's a murder mystery. It's a bit of a comedy, a bit of a drama, a total whodunit as Giancarlo Esposito finds himself moided in the White House. So the residence, the title The Residence refers to the White House. So the president's there with all of his, political buddies and the staff that are there. There's hundreds of rooms in this building. Kylie Minogue's there for some reason, which is fantastic. That was a very, very random thing. And then the other cool thing is that the leading detective in this case is played by the very talented Uzo Aduba from Orange is the New Black fame. And of course, we also have Randall Park as her sort of co-detective, who she really doesn't want around anywhere. I liked the brief exchange that they had where he's like, "I'm here to do anything to help," and then they get into an elevator, and she's like, "You could press 1. That'd help." Yeah, I thought that was funny. But yeah, it's a whodunit. It's a murder mystery in the White House. It looks fun. I might even give it a go, to be honest. As the trailer says, murder mysteries are very popular right now. Thanks to Ryan Johnson. So,
was that in the pitch?
Yeah, was that in the pitch?
Pitch of this movie?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a murder in the White House. Oh.
It's funny because, Netflix own the distribution rights to the Ryan Johnson, Benoit Blanc, Knives Out franchise. So they're like, here, have this while you wait for Wake Up Dead Man, coming out later this year. So
isn't there a comma in that? Wake up, dead man. Where's the comma? Wake.
Watch out, radioactive man.
Up, dead man. Up, dead man.
Wake up. Wake up, dead man. Yes. Okay. Hey, anyway, yeah, this looks fun. It looks cool. Like I said, I might check it out. What did you think, Mike? What did you reckon?
Yeah, same. I might have a squeeze of this as well. I mean, I do like my murder mysteries every now and again, and being set in the White House is a bit of a novelty. Yeah, I'm guessing they made this expecting not necessarily who is in the White House at the moment, but well, life. Don't talk to me about life. Anyway, yeah, this looks like fun. Always fun to have an eccentric as a budding detective, and yeah, I mean we all love our murderers in the murders in the White House,
in the building,
in the White Building, in the Twin Building. So all for this. Yeah, can't really add too much to it. It just looks like fun.
Fair.
It just looks like a bit of old fun. So when is this getting dropped on Netflix?
Yes. Well, I'm glad you asked. The Residents will be releasing on Netflix on the 20th of March.
Oh, march on down to your Netflix and watch the Residents.
Watch the Residents.
Yes.
Yes. Very good. Our next trailer is for a very interesting looking film that I'm struggling to figure out, and that might have something to do with the fact that Charlie Kaufman is involved. But we're talking about the actor. I'm very intrigued. I might wait for the reviews to watch this. After the last Charlie Kaufman excursion. But it kind of looks interesting. Like it's a surrealist, dramatic film about an actor who seems to have lost his memory, and there's been an assault and all of this, and he's trying to piece his life back together. The people around him are trying to help him piece his life together, and and then there's a romance in there as well. But it looks beautiful, like aesthetically.
Oh, it's neon. It's love.
Yeah. Neon are the production company behind this one. They've done a great job with the cinematography and the color palette and the soft focus that's just throughout this entire thing gives it a really dreamlike kind of state, which is very fitting for the kind of movie it is. I might watch it, but yeah, I think I'll wait to see what the reviews are saying. But yeah, it looks cool. It looks different, and I'm all for different. Hopefully it's a good time. So, or it at least invokes some kind of, nice response in some certain way. I don't have much more to say about it than that. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, it looks very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And being the story that it is, very convoluted and not reliable. Reliable narrator with your particular character lost their memory and they're trying to find it back. So, and it's a period piece as well. So that sort of is nice with the sort of soft focus as well. So it's very, very dreamlike, but very familiar at the same time. So, yeah, there's not much to go on. It's I'm guessing there might be a bit of a running commentary of people with the what is to be an actor at that certain time, as well as a person of color as well, being in this, and also not knowing your past. So, are you a bad guy or not? It's got a lot of tick boxes for me to being very intrigued, but not too sure if I would go out of my way to watch it. I'm probably the same as you. Like, wait till some critics say yay or nay. But people have been saying that with a lot of things that I like and people don't like. Folie à deux, for an example.
Yeah.
I still want to watch I still want to watch Babylon.
You should.
Because I've heard very mixed reviews, and just it sounds like something that I would probably get into, because that's also about Hollywood as well, and how it's very debauched, and it's not necessarily as like, no, Hollywood is glamour and lights. Wow. There's actually a movie that someone was talking about. What was it? I watched. Not this is a complete detour. I'm sorry, but subscribe to a guy called Headache. Eddie Bowley is his name, and he was talking about how he was talking about Shrek 2, because that's 20 years old, and he wants to, and he was discussing does the references like hold up to this day, and how it's at the time it was very taking shots at like Hollywood and the glamour of it back all the way back in 2002, and how everything was polarized, of saying, oh, you need to look this certain way and to be fit into this box to make yourself profitable in your imagery and as well. And that was definitely what Shrek 2 was about, because trying to find because Shrek wanted to change himself to become more pleasing to his in-laws and to be more accepting, and he was doing it for the wrong reasons and the right reasons, and love and all that, and it's very saying, oh, you need to have cosmetic surgery to look attractive, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know why I got into this, but yeah, it's Hollywood. It's the underbelly of Hollywood, and I'm thinking this is what they're probably going to dive into as well with this film, which is going to would be an interesting watch. But I'll wait till the canaries in the coal mine saying yay or nay. So when is this coming out, Kendall?
The actor's coming out on in America the 14th of March. We don't have a date here down under just yet, but yeah, very soon for those in the States.
Nice.
All right, nice. Our third and final trailer switches it up again. Not only are we doing a horror trailer, but this is a teaser trailer. And this is for the upcoming movie called Bring Her Back. This movie has my money already. This movie had my money when it was announced because this is made by the Aussie brothers, the Philippou brothers, Danny and Michael. Yeah, who did Talk to Me, which was a fantastic film. I think that was 2023 when that came out. Absolutely fantastic. It was very successful internationally as well as here in Australia. So now they're getting another crack. Obviously, there's a sequel to Talk to Me coming out, but here's another original story from them, and we get our first look at it here in this really cool teaser, and it's chilling. Like, I feel like horror teasers are some of the best teasers out there because they can really kind of set the mood and not just like in the movie, like you don't show the monster until the exact moment really that you should show the monster, and you just build tension up until that point. So I feel like this trailer does the exact same thing of like just building tension and not showing too much. But you can kind of infer from it that it's someone's died and someone wants to bring them back. And
sometimes death is better.
Yeah, sometimes death is better. So creepy shenanigans are going to ensue. But I really loved just like the score, and the use of sound in this trailer was really, really cool. And the text on the screen, with the words changing and being reused and all of this. It was perfect. It was great. They can have my money for this. I can't wait to check this out. I think it's going to be really cool. And Sally Hawkins is the lead in it, and she's fantastic. So I look forward to seeing her in this movie as well. So
I thought
bring
she
it on.
retired.
I don't know. Maybe she will be retiring. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, because unfortunately, because she's been diagnosed with lupus. So
right.
Maybe not, because she wasn't in the third Paddington movie.
No. Okay.
Because for reasons. Yeah, but it looks like she's still doing it, so that's good.
What did you think of the trailer?
Of Bring Her Back. It was a very good teaser. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. All these horrific images floating. It's like, what is going on? Yeah, I wasn't sure about it, to tell you the truth, until we worked out it was from the brothers from South Australia. Jesus, I'm tired. Yeah, I might go for it. Very psychological, and sometimes death is better. It's very when you're but who knows? Maybe it'll trigger me Is that, you know, having having a child die is like, what does that affect in your mental health? It's like, yeah, okay, I'll wear this with kid gloves maybe, but who knows? Maybe it'll be all right. So I'll probably just wait for a trailer to make sure I don't like suffer anymore. I'm already going to suffer this year with Last of Us. I don't want to. I don't want to open that wound and then chuck some salt in it.
No
But
unnecessary suffering.
Yeah, who knows? Might be fine. But when is this going to come out, Kendall?
Well, even though it's an Australian-made film, it's not. We don't have a date yet. We don't have a date yet. So hopefully we will get one closer to. But in the US of A, it'll be dropping in theaters on the 30th of May.
Yeah, you say Australian. I mean,
well, it's probably Australian American.
Yeah, if that's the case, every Baz Luhrmann film is Australian.
Well, he films them all here. So
yeah. So on a technicality,
I hear what you're saying. I hear on a technicality. I get what you're saying.
The Great Gatsby is Australian through and through.
Elvis is Australian.
Elvis is Australian. God damn it.
God damn it.
He's our own. He's our own king of rock and roll.
Yeah, he's our boy, Elvis.
I saw him on Countdown with Molly Meldrum. I didn't.
No.
I'm not that old. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it?
Okay. That's it, isn't it?
Wow, we're flying.
We're flying. We're flying, Jack. Trailer Park Day.
I'm like an eagle.
Which means
what?
It's time.
Yay!
For the wibbly.
The wibbly.
For the wobbly.
Ooh.
For the timey-wimey.
Haha, yes.
Because we are...
Talking Who. Hey! Talking Who. With the
Who.
popcorn culture.
Yes.
Off tangent subject of Doctor Who review. With my new sonic screwdriver that now comes in cane form.
Yes. It sure does.
Anyway.
Amazing. Yes. Doctor Who. We're back in Matt Smith era Doctor Who. Season 6, episode 8 or 9.
One of them.
Because we couldn't settle on this last night. According to IMDb, it's episode 8.
Yeah, hopefully we watched the right one.
Well, the episode is Let's Kill Hitler.
Sure, why not? Yes.
Yes, Let's Kill Hitler. Yes. My overall thoughts, my first time watching this episode. Yeah, it was good. Kind of a funny title for this episode. Call it Let's Kill Hitler, considering Hitler's in only one scene and like the Nazis aren't even the focus point of the episode. But I suppose it's more the impetus for the events is, the catalyst for the events is this thing of killing Hitler. In a roundabout way. But yeah, so that's interesting. Stephen Moffat wrote this episode. Obviously,
did.
This is in the he did. This is in the midst of him show running. So yeah. So I had high expectations for this one, and clearly it's very main plot heavy. This is not a filler episode. This is not a standalone single story of the Doctor. This is really driving our main overarching plot forward, which I don't mind as well, considering the end of the last episode we watched, we found out who River Song really is. And then they kind of turn that on its head a little bit in this episode, which we'll talk about. I won't go into all my thoughts on that yet, but it was fun to see River Song in this capacity in this episode. And why am I blanking on her name? Alex Kingston looked like she was having a fucking ball during this episode, which was pretty entertaining to watch. But yeah, I liked it. There's some questionable moments, like at the beginning before you find out who Mel's is. At first I was like, this is a bit like, why are they retconning a character in? I didn't put two and two together.
Shoehorn.
Yeah, shoehorned a character in out of nowhere. But then of course it makes sense. But then there was one moment, and in hindsight it makes more sense now for Mel's to try and get Amy and Rory together. But this moment of Amy trying to say repeatedly that Rory is gay. It's like, I've never seen you with a girl. Of course you're gay. Like, I think she says it to him 3 times. You're gay. No, you're gay. No. And I'm like, 2011, stop haunting us. Yeah.
2011, written by a man.
Written by a man with gay panic clearly still hovering in his mind. Yeah. Didn't love that.
Remember, being gay is funny. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
just funny.
If you think about it, gay people are funny.
Yeah, that was classic Moffat action. What other? I'm just trying to think if there are any other things before we get into your thoughts, Mike, that I just kind of want to touch on, but nothing's really coming to mind. But right now, so I think that'll do it for my overall thoughts. I enjoyed the episode though. It was a good episode. I felt, and developed the plot in a good way. I had fun. Mike, what are your thoughts on killing Hitler?
I don't like this episode. All intents and purposes. I thought it was wasted opportunity, too many ideas, and it just became flat. Okay. So, just a brief history lesson. This episode takes place after a hiatus, because they had a mid-season break, and the last episode was A Man Goes to War, where we get dive bombed with the realization of who River Song is, and got all the momentum. Was like, oh my god, yes, what are we going to do now? Let's kill Hitler. Interesting title. Let's do that. And then they chuck Hitler in a cupboard, metaphorically, as well. So, okay, we're not going to deal with that. What are we going to do? Okay, we go do this. And introduce a character that we've never seen before. Would have been nice if it was like all throughout the season, so we can like sort of learn who this person is. It's like, oh, your best friend, and you named your daughter after your friend, who is also your daughter. So grandfather paradox, cool. I love that. Science fiction, love it. But no, just shoot horn. And also, I didn't like the way they handled the reasons for River Song as well, but we'll get into that later. It was just lackluster, bit of a nothing burger, and just lost the momentum for me. And this is when my interest in the Moffat era sort of came to an abrupt end, and just wanted to wait until the next Doctor and the next showrunner and all this. So it's and it's a good thing that I like Doctor Who because I kept on still watching. Either if I was someone else, I would say, okay, I'm done. I don't need to do this. This is now The Simpsons to me. I watched it up to a certain point, and I stopped. Like Gotham, up to a certain point, and I stopped. And I've been meaning to go back, but when will that be? I don't know. When everything I've seen is finished, and watched Firefly for the first few months time. But yeah, so I didn't like this episode, and still don't. And after this, all the episodes became a blur to me. So that's going to be interesting in the future episodes. Yeah. That is my spiel.
Okay, I like this. We're going in with two almost opposing viewpoints.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're going first because I don't want to harsh your critique as well.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Because you're going into it new, and I don't want to say, oh, you like this thing? You're stupid. You like this stupid stuff?
How dare you like this thing?
Anyway.
You shouldn't like it because I don't like it.
Yeah. But we'll start off at the start. Rory and Amy trying to contact the Doctor in a certain way. Harkens back to the start of this series of the Doctor trying to get Rory and Amy's attention in different ways as well, if you remember.
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, where he put himself in a Laura and Hardy movie, and he's like, I'm on TV. Yeah, and doing all that stuff, and jumping out of windows and all that, and crop circles.
Circles.
What do you think of the crop circle? Doctor Who.
It was fun. It was funny. It was funny. It was amusing, and I kind of just like the Doctor immediately showing up with the dated, like they aged the newspaper to say, Ledworth, crop circles, befuddle citizens or something, whatever it was. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was an interesting way to kick off the episode and go guns blazing into it, because immediately after that we get the debut of Mel's, and I was just like, in my naive first time viewing and the fact that we're doing this in the longest way possible, I'm just going, have we met this person before? I don't know if we met this person before. And then I was like, maybe we have. And then the Doctor kept being like, no, I don't know you. And I was like, oh, okay, good. The Doctor doesn't know you, then we don't know you. So I liked that. But then the immediate turn of I've got a gun and you've got a TARDIS. Let's just go kill Hitler. Was weird because then it kind of, I guess, it leaned into she's clearly a criminal and wants to escape, getting arrested. What better way to get away than just pick a random point in time? Very interesting that she picked that. I feel like, I was gonna say they could have picked any point in time, but then it kind of ties into the actual part of the story involving the Justice Department and their machine thing that they've got. So it would have to be some kind of point in time where justice must be served. But yeah, interesting. It kind of goes along really quick, and then obviously we see the flashback to because they tell the Doctor oh, Mel's has always been here. She's our best friend, and blah blah blah, and then we get to see the evolution of that, and yeah, and then she's River Song, because as something as I've either forgotten or, unless this was the reveal, I can't remember, but she's part Time Lord, part
Yeah.
Gallifreyan. I think that had already been revealed.
She was conceived in the TARDIS.
Yes. So therefore,
Is from the previous episode.
Mm.
So she's got Time Lord DNA. Don't know how that works, but go with it.
Yeah, weird sci-fi stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why the Doctor has been away is because he's been trying to locate
Melody
the baby.
Pond.
Melody
Yes.
Pond. Who keeps on changing her face.
And now, of course, we know why. And then, I guess what we find out that she's I don't know, was this when they revealed it, or did they reveal it last time that she was the young girl in London with the cloak and stuff? Because they said that in this episode.
No, I think we just mentioned her, mentioned by passing, but we know that the questions. I think we're sort of coming together of like, okay, this is River is the. I don't want to spoil it because I'm not sure if it is a spoil, but I can't remember if it was that the little girl regeneration, and also the little girl in the astronaut suit all the way back when is the same girl, and is that River Song? Don't know.
Yeah.
Or Melanie, Mel's. Bit on the nose, that name. Who calls someone Mel's?
I know. I think it's a British nickname. They seem to add S to things, whereas we
do
add like
O.
A or O or Y. I think, yeah.
Or Melzy.
I guess Melzy. Yeah, we'd do Melzy. Yeah, that would be us. Yes. Yeah. So then, shenanigans ensue with
Hitler.
With Mel's. And with Hitler, yes. Because they, happen to drop in at a very opportune moment where this ship machine thing that's called the Tesselector, weird name, run by the Justice Department, I believe they're called, and they're trying to kill Hitler. But then there's also a comment made about how it's too early. Why are we trying to kill him? That's never kind of touched on again.
Yeah, they're 7 years too early.
Yeah, so I don't know why. I don't know why they're here now. If they're Anyway, that's a bit confusing.
Because they made a mistake. Reasons.
They made a mistake. Reasons. But yes, the TARDIS crashes in and prevents them from removing Hitler from the timeline so that they can basically torture him until he dies. And then we get Mel's gets shot, and then we find out that she's River Song when she regenerates. Very interesting stuff. I just want to talk briefly about the Tesselector, because I'd like to get your thoughts on, because it's they're basically functioning on the side of caution, I guess, in terms of because one of the things people always talk about is, would you go back and kill baby Hitler, right, and prevent him from doing the evils that he does? And a lot of people are like, well, no, because then that changes too much. The butterfly effect from that would be too big, and things could come out even worse. You don't know, blah, 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 if whatever. But here, they're still letting everything happen. Everything's supposed to happen the way. It is a bit of a cop-out. Everything's supposed to happen still. 6 million Jews and all those people that were persecuted during that time, they all still die. But then the Tesselector comes along right before the end and removes the guilty party in question from the timeline so that they can then serve justice. which in their form comes in the method of these antibodies, they call them, which I thought was probably the one part about the test selector I liked, was these antibodies being like, doing what antibodies actually do in real life, and that's getting rid of things that aren't supposed to be there.
Foreign
entities.
Yeah.
I thought the antibodies were great, and the dialogue that was used, very matter of fact, and and all of this, I thought it was very clever. So I liked that. But yeah, just like the way it's used as sort of a plot device to kind of get things going here. And then of course when the Doctor and River Song come in, they're like, oh, we're not interested in Hitler now. Good thing we're 7 years early, because here's River Song and the Doctor, and they seem to go after River first because she's the one who kills the Doctor, and the Doctor's not supposed to die yet, even though the Doctor is a big war criminal. So I feel like they're not about disrupting the time stream, the time continuum, but they are about getting justice when it comes down to the right moment. Interesting. I don't know. How did you feel about that aspect of the episode?
The the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'm trying to scoot around future spoilers here. Well, I think because they well, that's the thing. If you think about it, like Doc Brown, if you think about it fourth dimensionally, all the stuff that they have done has been done. So therefore, all these war criminals that we don't know about is because they've already been taken out of our timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they go to different areas of time, or they're just living through life and say, okay, we got to get rid of you, got to get rid of you, got to get rid of you in a certain time. Or maybe Hitler was the last one. Don't know, but it's a weird thing, but I think because the Doctor is there and they know he dies at a certain time and a certain place, it's an absolute thing, and you can't budge. That's why they went, oh, we're 7 years too early to kill Hitler. So it's very bureaucratic. It's like, no, we got to do it at exactly the same time. Doesn't matter if they're here or not. But it doesn't really make sense for River Song because she's just regenerated. So therefore, what she's about to do hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a weird. Yeah, can't think about it. Otherwise, your brain will melt. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't have the answers.
I don't have the answers. That's fine.
It's written in convenience.
Yeah.
And it's hard to pick apart.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know, it's just interesting. Cool. Well, I guess the other thing to then go into, and I want to talk about is River Song.
Yes.
Because here we see the beginning of River Song, right? This is
fresh face.
Her fresh face. She's regenerated into the woman we know as River Song, that we have known as River Song for, a couple of seasons now. And it's, it's her first time, and she's obviously, again, like what, we've talked about before, we love the fact that they have their relationship out of order. And it's really cool that the Doctor was there at the beginning of her regeneration, as it were. as River Song. I think that's really cool. So, and then of course, because she's being manipulated by the silence into being this person whose sole goal is to take down the Doctor, because that's what the silence wants, because in their mind the Doctor is the end to all the suffering and all the wars and all that stuff, which is interesting. We'll talk about the silence maybe a bit later, but yeah, so basically River Song is kind of an antagonist in this episode. And it was fun to watch Alex Kingston just be a little campy, a little fun, and just, you know,
Uber flirty.
being uber extra flirty, more than usual. Um, immediately attracted to the Doctor. I mean, that's what the first thing she says when she's Mel's, and she's like, "Oh, you didn't tell me he was cute." So that was fun. But yeah, it was. I enjoyed watching her kind of be this antagonist. There's something different, like for a character like River Song, who seems to be quite prolific in the New Who episodes that I've seen so far. Like, she's, ever since we meet her in Silence in the Library, she's like, you know, there's this big thing over her because like, who's this? How does she know the Doctor? What's her story? And then of course, you know, we go back to it. So it's, but yeah, she's always this kind of cheeky heroine character. And now here she's a cheeky villain, I guess, in a way. So, yeah, so I kind of liked that. The only negative I would say about it is, I don't know, the thing with like the bit, it was probably just a bit of fun. The thing with like her being like, all right, take off your clothes. I want new clothes because I'm in a new body and I want to, you know, have some fun. But like the whole, I don't like the stakes of the Doctor's gonna die as a thing, because it's not stakes, because he's the main character of the show. He is the show. There's no show without the Doctor. And for them to set up another like thing of the Doctor's gonna die, she gives him this like kiss of death or something in her lips and whatever, and the Doctor has as the voice interface of the TARDIS, as Amelia Pond points out, you have 32. You will die in 32 minutes. You know, so yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that's a bit of a I don't know, either overdone plot device threatening the Doctor's life, and then like the whole thing with the test selector being like, he's not supposed to die, yet he's supposed to die by the lake in 2011, blah blah blah. Just I don't know. It didn't feel like, that's probably the weak point of the episode for me. Well, one of the week points. I mean, I enjoyed it overall, but one of the big weak points for me was just like, oh, the Doctor's gonna die again. Like, can we do something a little different here? Maybe, I don't know. But I liked how it explains. You know, we get the explanation of she comes around and uses all of her regenerations in one go to bring him back. Which, you know, again, could be a bit of a cop-out maybe, but I don't know. It's interesting.
It's a bit of a huge cop-out. Because Because we know the Doctor's not going to die, because there's an absolute point of him dying by the lake, and the only reason why you gave Amelia Pond generational powers is because of this scenario, and it doesn't. So you've written yourself into a hole that you created. So it's even more stupid. But if you like a love story of self-sacrifice or anything like that, but I think it sort of takes away a bit of River Song's character, that like the relationship, and not to dive bomb into the very end where she becomes an archaeologist, which we know she does become. But
Mhm.
the only reason that she does become one is because of a boy. She wants to meet. She wants her boy back. So everything that she does is for a boy.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Sacrifice everything for a boy.
Yeah, it's interesting to say the least. Well,
we got away with it in 2011. Bechdel test. What is that?
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. So how do you feel about River Song in this episode? It's like kind of seeing the origin of her.
Yeah, I did enjoy because I said all my bad stuff. Here's the stuff that I do like. I do like the fact that you get to see River, her characteristics as someone else, meaning she hasn't grown into who she is that we actually generally know. And it gives a lot of fun for an actor to play a character in a different state of mind, a state of being, and a different person, borderline different personality, and that would be a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun to actually watch. But yeah, Moffat does have a crutch of being a bit too horny, even for this. This is a very, very horny script, with references to The Graduate as well. So, hello, Benjamin. I caught that. Yeah, but all in all, I did like the fact that we got to see the origins of River Song. Dubious at best of what she does later become. And there's, after this, I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's a couple more stuff because we still have to deal with the silence. But there's going to be a couple more episodes before this, which is roughly standalone. I can't remember any of the rest. I think. Yeah, I have no memory of any of the others, except for the ending for this particular season. And all I can say is I hope you're paying attention, because I didn't get it first couple of rounds. It's like, okay, what the fuck's going on? It starts going crazy. So,
okay.
Good luck is all I can say.
Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. That's going to be fun. Cool. Well, I guess the other main topic I wanted to discuss, well, there's two, but like one major one. So the Doctor and death in this episode, I already just touched on my feelings on using that as a crux of the episode, as tension and whatnot.
Just wait.
Stakes. Just oh god. All right, great.
But not in this season. So you got a couple of seasons. I think it's
okay.
Yeah, a couple of seasons until we deal with death again.
Oh, fun. Here we go. Going back to the well.
Yeah.
The Well of Souls. Yes. The Doctor in death. Very interesting in this episode. I like the fact that the Doctor kind of represents the fans, in my opinion, in the fact that he's not accepting the fact that he's going to die. Like, it doesn't seem to be stressing him out very much, that I could tell. Obviously, we see him physically suffering, from the poison that he's dealing with, but, like, he's not worried. He's not concerned. And, and obviously at the 11th hour, he whispers, what he whispers to River Song, and then she ends up saving him. But then the other big death-related moment for the Doctor happens right at the end of the episode, where he sees the info that the test selector had up on him about his fixed death date in 2011 by the lake. Now, that has been one of the main focuses of this season is to, not tell the Doctor. Amy and Rory had one job, to keep the Doctor away from that knowledge. He's not supposed to know he's going to die. Whoopsie. And he sees the screen right at the end. Somehow Rory and Amy don't see it. I don't think, because they don't really react in the sense of, oh no. But yeah, he sees the date and he completely just like moves on. It does, nothing dramatic happens, nothing bad happens.
It's a later date.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be repercussions as we go forward, but it was interesting to see again that same attitude to death of like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna be fine. Like, you know the show too well, don't you, Doctor? Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting because they've been building it up as this whole big thing. Don't tell the Doctor. Don't tell the Doctor. And then he finds out, and then he does not react at all. So I'm guessing they may be saving a reaction, or some kind of payoff for a later episode.
Well, he does the unhealthy thing and keep it to himself.
Great. Classic Doctor. Classic Doctor. Not telling anyone how he really feels.
Yeah. This is the reason why you don't have chairs. Because you get down.
Yeah, because you're alone. Yeah. And nobody likes you. So that was interesting for me, just to notice the two kind of reactions to death that he has in this episode. Did you have anything to add on any of that?
Yeah, it's just to say, keep this in mind in future episodes, but we're going to do something else that doesn't really touch on, because there's a couple of more episodes until the big finale. And
I think we've only got like 4 or 5 episodes left of the season now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, so I feel sad for Zutek because he crash landed into Hitler's office. Because remember, that's a thing.
That's a thing. Zutek.
Yep. And there's also another thing that I can't wait to start peppering in as well.
Great.
Yeah, there's another one that's a bit similar as well.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's for a later time, because spoiler, sweetie. This is where River gets her empty diary, and she got it from the Doctor.
Yeah.
How about
she got it from the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit on the nose that you got a TARDIS book from a TARDIS shop. Where you got it from the local ABC shop when I was around, because this is 2011.
Yeah. Jesus. Back in the day.
Yeah. So overall, it was just an episode, but it's an unfortunate one because it's part of the River Song canon, so it's unavoidable, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a key episode. Yes.
And she did it all for a boy.
All for a boy. Cool. Well, before we go, just to say one thing about the silence. The Justice Department had some information on what the silence is. And they basically just said that the silence is a religious order that live by the credo of silence will fall when the question is asked. And of course, the question is unknown.
But we know the answer. 42. 42,
yeah.
Yay!
Yay! Yes, excellent work. Yes, the question is unknown, but clearly it has something to do with the Doctor, I would say, just based on the silence having this desire to bring the Doctor down, destroy him. So yeah, I don't have much to add on the mystery box of this and where that's kind of going, but I like the ambiguity of it, the enigmatic quality of it, but it kind of felt like a little bit like, oh, we're gonna get something on the silence, and then it's like the question is unknown. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, god dang it!
Oh,
Yeah,
God dang it.
we got a chat from Twitch. TJR _IS. I'm gonna call you Is. And so, yo, what's up, dog? What you talking about? What we're talking on? We're talking about Doctor Who, and
Yes.
we're talking about Let's Kill Hitler, the episode.
Yes.
And how it was
Matt
okay,
Smith.
I guess.
There was some good parts in it. There were some bad parts in it.
Yes.
Yes. I enjoyed it more than Mike did.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, and you're the fan, so there you go.
As
Yeah,
long as you got some enjoyment out of it, which is good.
I did get a little bit. Yeah, did you have anything to say on the silence, or too many spoilers, sweetie?
Well, they do rock up. And they do take part in the big finale for it. And headless monks, they are cool. And unfortunately, we only see them once. So, but religious orders always fun, and yeah, we get to find out why the Doctor dies.
Why the Doctor dies?
Yeah, that's your question. That's the question. What is the question? I think I do know. Do I remember? Yes, I think I do, and I didn't like it. Anyway.
I do, and I didn't like it. Great. That fills me with such confidence.
That's all right. But, you like this episode, so I could be wrong. That's always a possibility.
Indeed. Indeed it is. Yeah, well, I don't really have anything else to add on this one. I think that's the bulk of it. Is there anything else we should touch on before we wrap up?
No. Your episode of episode podcast for Jason Takes Manhattan is out.
Yes. Yeah, well we plugged that last week. So
thank you for the follow. Tis.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the content. Yes. Well, yeah. Go check out the Fred Watch review of Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Very good stuff. I don't remember much of the movie off the top of my head. I don't know if that tells you anything. Sorry, Wayne. But if you want to hear my thoughts on it and Wayne's thoughts on it, please go check out the fearsome Friday Fred Watch specials. If you love horror movies, we get into it.
Yeah, the Freddy Alien podcast, where you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Yes. Speaking of,
yes,
time for the wrap up script, isn't it?
Yeah, and thank you, Tiz. I am a chill guy.
Hey.
Thank you for coming for the ending. But it's fun.
Yes.
Thanks
for being
every
here.
week.
We're here, yes, pretty much every week. Catch
Tip
us.
your waitress.
Tip your waitress, yes. Stay notified to get all the pings about when we're going to go live. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Cool. That's the show. Pop and culture done. Plugs are done. It's time to get out of here. 1, 2, 3, and...
that
was a
was a
podcast,
podcast called
called
Fred.
Cue the music. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky for all of the latest Fred content.
If you like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Ooh, deja vu. If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, head on over to our YouTube channel. That's Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're on Twitch right now, give us a follow, and thank you, Tiz, for that follow. And if you're on YouTube, hit the bell icon to keep you updated for all future Fred the Alien content.
Yeah. I've been a Kendall Richardson.
And I've been the man that's been chill, a Michael Lister. And you just experienced
a
podcast called Fred. Transition. Oh, I love the delay.
It's such a fun delay. Remember to eat beef, everyone.
Yes, look after yourself and your mental health. And what do I say every week? I've forgotten.
Freddy
lives. Freddy lives. Loki dies. The Doctor is in, and all in all, together, just like we used to be. And Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids is such a good show. You should watch it. It should be on YouTube. Anyway, love you. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Later, skaters. And
see.